Poppins, y'all! This is us, I guess, replicating a Nostalgia Critic sibling rivalry episode. This is my brother John. He will be joining us today for our latest review.
Hi.
Say hi, everyone, in your Tommy Wiseau voice.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Oh, hi, Bert. Oh, why are we talking about Mary Poppins? You should be talking about The Room. It's a shout out to Chris Stuckman's Tommy Wiseau there. Basically, all the people, these are all the people that make up why I do these videos in the first place, because I'm obviously a shameless knockoff of other, more talented people. But anyway, this is for our mother, for her Christmas present, because this is her favorite movie of all time, and we thought we would surprise her, right, by doing a review of Mary Poppins.
So, Merry Christmas, Mom. We love you. We hope you enjoy this.
Happy holiday.
All right.
All right.
So how should we get started with the Poppins?
Well, I think she's going to be in the next Avengers movie starting right out, so we can.
Well, everybody else is in the next Avengers movie, so she might as well be.
Except for Luke Skywalker, and of course I'm wearing a Batman shirt. This is a Dark Knight Rises T-shirt, so obviously I'm like an infidel. But that's another story. So yeah, Mary Poppins. I don't really know, how do you describe, I mean, I feel like I went back and watched it yesterday, and the plot itself is pretty simple. It's about some kids that have like a dad who's a workaholic dad. It takes place in England in the early 1910s, and their kids never see their dad because he's always working, and so they're always causing trouble, and all the nannies want nothing to do with them, and so there's this super nanny that like comes down from the sky, kind of like a Thor, I guess, but you know, with an umbrella and with a hammer, and you know, she's actually perfect, unlike Thor, who has character flaws.
Practically perfect in every way.
That's right.
All right, so that's the basic plot, is that Mary Poppins just shows up and solves everybody's problems by the end of the movie.
Pretty much.
She's awesome.
Man, she's literally like a gift to humanity.
Yep.
And you know, nobody, like, literally is perfect at everything, which is, you know, kind of the whole point of her character. But she's not really the main character of the film, I'd say. The main character is really the dad and the kids, and how through Mary Poppins they grow to reconcile with one another. At least that's how I see it. How about you?
Yeah, that's kind of what I got out of it. We're going to delve more deeply into that during our heartfelt what this movie means to me time. But,
yeah, well, for you, I don't get personal in my YouTube videos.
Obviously never. There's nothing personal about what you do.
Oh.
Alrighty.
So,
what should we talk about first?
Let's talk about the actors, right?
Alright.
Acting. Julie Andrews definitely became famous with this role as Mary Poppins, and she definitely has it down. Going back and watching it, I couldn't imagine anyone else in this role. And actually, it's interesting, I saw an interview with her on, I think it was the Jay Leno show back when he was still on the air, where he like posed a question like, if you were at the Broadway show and Mary Poppins broke her leg, will you be able to get up there and start singing? And she was like, oh, damn straight. It's obviously pretty funny there, too. Dick Van Dyke, love Dick Van Dyke, but that's your turn to talk now.
Oh, well, okay. So, Julie Andrews, she won an Oscar for this. She deserved it. I know, I've been watching this movie all the time from, I don't know, age 0 to now age 30. She's fantastic. She does a really good job in this role, and I think she really does a good job threading the needle, because she has to be this person who, on the one hand, comes across as very straightforward. She's kind of the straight woman of the show, which is ironic because all this craziness and all this magic happens because of her, and yet she always acts like everything is completely normal. And she has to pretend like she doesn't really care about these kids, but she really does. And so
yeah.
Julie Andrews has to give across this impression that she really wants to come across as unfeeling while really not being unfeeling. And I think she does an amazing job. Okay, Dick Van Dyke, quick question. His accent, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, I thought it was great.
Okay.
Was he American?
He's American. I know. So
Well, okay, I guess in that case I'd say like he's obviously trying to like have like sort of the Cockney accent, I think.
he is. I guarantee you that there's nobody who has that kind of accent.
I mean, obviously,
in their life.
I don't know very much about accents. I guess I'd say more. It's tolerable. I mean, he's kind of meant to be sort of an over the top character anyway,
Yeah.
but so I can kind of overlook that a little bit.
I guess what I'd say about it is, when I was a kid, I loved his accent. As a grown-up, I do think it's really cheesy, but I don't care. And the reason why I don't care is that Dick Van Dyke is just so sincere in his role of Bert. You totally believe that he's really just this fun-loving guy with an open heart to everybody, and he's just a really lovable guy. And yeah, even if his accent is kind of weird, it's just impossible not to like the guy. Halfway through the movie, I forgot about his accent entirely, honestly. So
Yeah, well, I feel like that's part of the magic of this movie, that like you can sort of like forgive like aspects of it do seem to be a little bit dated, but you can still enjoy the movie even with all that, because there's just, it's sort of got like this charm, even if it's like it's cheesiness, which like I go back and watch a lot of like older movies and like they don't have that, but this one definitely does.
All the other actors.
I don't remember all their names. I
don't remember
like
all
the dad.
The dad is awesome. That's Mr. Tomlinson. I can't remember his
Mr.
first
Banks.
name. Mr. Banks. He's amazing. Again, he has to play this guy who at the beginning is very unsympathetic and at the end is incredibly sympathetic.
Yeah.
The child actors were really good, I thought. I mean, I completely bought their roles. A special heartfelt feeling has to go out to, I think his name is Art Wynn, the guy who plays the laughing character who's on the ceiling the whole time. He's just hilarious. I mean, he's only in one scene in the movie, but he's just unforgettable. He's so funny.
Well, going into the next topic is obviously, I don't watch or review a lot of these kinds of movies because it's usually not really my cup of tea, but obviously since this is like a musical film, there's a heck of a lot of singing in it, so let's talk about whether or not that singing makes, breaks, or is irrelevant to the movie. What do you think?
Well, I like to go back to what I learned from a friend who actually knows something about music, who said that the purpose of music in a musical is to advance the storyline. It's not just supposed to be there for the heck of it. And I'm trying to think, was there any song ever in this entire movie that really didn't serve a purpose? And I think the answer is no. I think every song advances the storyline in some way. And two, none of them are bad. Some of them are kind of forgettable. They're not all that memorable, but none of them are bad. And the ones that are good, Step in Time, I love Step in Time. Spoonful of Sugar, a little cheesy.
Walt Disney's favorite, Feed the Poppins.
Feed the
Birds.
Feed the Birds. And
Poppins.
I still cry. I mean, I cried last night hearing that song. It's an absolutely beautiful song. The song that the Bankers sing, I think is really funny now. I hated it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I felt the same way that Jane and Michael, the children in the movie, feel, which is just like, I have no idea what the heck these guys are talking about. And now, watching it as an adult and be like, okay, I actually understand what they're talking about, but it's hilarious that they're actually trying to explain this to kids, because anybody should know that there's no way two kids are going to understand what they're talking about. It's really funny.
Yeah. And of course, the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is definitely the most famous song of the movie, and it's weird because it could have gone very horribly wrong. It's like it takes place in like an animated environment, but with real actors. They managed to make it work. I thought, at least in this case.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I think that's the magic of Julie Andrews, especially, that she's so absolutely serious about this. I mean, she's just dead serious and embraces this absurd world in such a serious way that she can sing a nonsensical word like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and makes it sound like this is a perfectly normal thing for a healthy adult person to do, which I think is amazing.
Yeah. God, that's a lot to think about there.
I
I hope they weren't on anything when they were in that little
Dick Van
world.
Dyke might have been. Dick Van Dyke might have been. I don't know. But anyway, what's our last section?
Last section. Oh, how well has this film held up today? Because this movie is more than 50 years old now. It came around 1964, which I think was also like back when like all those early Bond movies were also coming out, and like a lot of movies from that period haven't held up super well, and I feel like obviously there's aspects of this movie that do feel dated today, but like I said previously, it doesn't really ruin the film by today's standards. You can still watch it, and you can still enjoy it, you can still like appreciate it. I feel like to the utmost, especially like watching it as a kid. Obviously, is different as an adult, because as a kid, if you just sort of get lost in the zaniness of all this stuff. Even as an adult, it still has a lot of meaning to it.
Yeah, what I think about when I ask if this movie holds up is, if you're watching this film for the first time, I obviously was not, are you going to like it? And I actually do think it depends on how you look at it. I think if you want to be nitpicky and really complain, especially about the special effects, and there are actually quite a lot of special effects in this movie, when she's singing with the robin, it's obviously not a real robin. I mean, you can tell that they're obviously not in this animated world. Not all the special effects necessarily hold up that well, so you can nitpick if you want to. My opinion is you really don't want to, and I would encourage you especially to embrace the story. And I found I could, even when I was thinking, okay, Dick Van Dyke's accent is a little annoying this time, but by the end of the movie it didn't matter, because everyone can relate to this film. The other great Julie Andrews movie, The Sound of Music, I never really liked it as much.
I don't think I've ever seen that one all the way through.
It's not because it's a bad movie. It's because it's a love story between a nun and an Austrian guy who doesn't want to be a Nazi.
Right.
It's not necessarily relevant to everyone. This is a story about family. This story is relevant to everyone, about what it's like to be a child, about what it's like to be a father, about what it's like to be a friend. And it speaks to us, I think, on a really fundamental level about what that's like, and how to be in a healthy relationship. And I think that if you just embrace the beauty of the film, you can't help but love it. I still can't help but love it.
No, it reminds me of another little movie called Footloose. No, not really, but...
Okay, yeah. Anyway,
since this is an older movie, I'm not really going to score it. All I'm going to say is that if you've never seen it, you definitely should go see this movie. It's a movie everyone should watch. I just watched it again recently, like last night, and still really enjoyed it. And part of the reason I'm doing this review is because we just wanted to sort of share this and dedicate this to our mother, who's on vacation this Christmas, and we just wanted to give her a little present from afar. So that's the reason we did this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you tell me what you thought of this movie, and let me know what other classic Disney movies that you like, if you like those kinds of movies.
And keep watching his video! I'm